In the world of ultra-scalable systems, a single kernel memory leak isn't just a bug, it's a silent killer of high-availability clusters. As senior architects, you know that system panics and OM kills often result from slow burn leaks in the kernel space. While user space debugging tools are plentiful, monitoring the kernel requires a more surgical approach. Today, we delve into KASAN, the Kernel Address Sanitizer. This tool is the gold standard for detecting memory corruption and leaks before they reach production. We will explore how KASAN monitors every memory access, ensuring that your infrastructure remains resilient under extreme load. By the end of this session, you will have a master-level understanding of deploying KASAN to secure your kernel's memory integrity and maintain system uptime. KASAN stands for Kernel Address Sanitizer, a dynamic memory error detector designed specifically for the Linux kernel. Unlike static analysis tools that guess at potential issues, KASAN monitors the kernel at runtime with 0 false positives. It is integrated directly into the kernel source, allowing it to catch various classes of memory errors, including out-of-bounds accesses and use after free bugs. For infrastructure engineers, this means catching corruption at the very moment it happens, rather than hours later when the system finally crashes. It leverages compiler instrumentation and shadow memory to provide a deep look into how the kernel manages its heap and stack. It is an essential component of the modern kernel development and testing lifecycle. KASAN is not a one-size-fits-all tool. It offers different modes depending on your hardware and performance requirements. First, generic KASAN is the most widely used and portable mode, supported by both GCC and Clang. It relies on shadow memory to track every byte of kernel memory. Second, software tag-based KASAN, originally for ARM64, uses the top byte ignore feature to store tags in pointers, reducing memory overhead. Finally, hardware tag-based KASAN leverages specialized hardware like ARM memory tagging extension for even lower overhead. Choosing the right mode is crucial for your testing environment. For most debugging tasks on x86-64, generic KASAN is the standard choice, while tag-based modes are gaining traction in mobile and specialized edge infrastructure. The core of generic KASAN's power is shadow memory. For every 8 bytes of regular kernel memory, KASAN allocates 1 byte of shadow memory. This 1-to-8 address mapping allows KASAN to track the state of every single memory byte. If a byte in shadow memory is 0, it means all 8 corresponding bytes of kernel memory are valid to access. If it contains a negative value, it indicates that the memory is poisoned or restricted. When the kernel attempts to read or write, the compiler-inserted checks verify the shadow memory first. If the shadow byte indicates an invalid state, KASAN immediately triggers a report. This simple yet effective mapping is what allows for precise detection without the complexity of traditional hardware watchpoints. Out-of-bounds access, or OOB, occurs when code reads or writes beyond the allocated limits of a buffer. To catch this, KASAN surrounds every kernel object with red zones. These red zones are areas of poisoned shadow memory. When a kernel function accidentally overruns its buffer, it hits the red zone, and KASAN instantly detects the unauthorized access. This is particularly useful for catching buffer overflows in network drivers or file system code, where input sizes can be unpredictable. By validating every access against the shadow memory, KASAN ensures that memory corruption does not propagate through the system, which is a common cause of hard-to-debug Heisenberg bugs in large-scale infrastructure. Use after free, or UAF, is one of the most dangerous and common memory bugs in the kernel. It happens when the kernel continues to use a pointer after the memory it points to has been freed. KASN handles this by putting freed memory into a quarantine. Instead of returning the memory to the allocator immediately, KASN poisons its shadow memory and holds it in the quarantine zone. If any code tries to access that memory while it is in quarantine, KASN catches it and provides a detailed report of where the memory was originally allocated and where it was freed. This time travel-like debugging capability is vital for fixing race conditions and complex lifecycle bugs in high concurrency systems. To use KASAN, you must enable it during the kernel compilation process. The primary configuration flag is config KASAN = Y. You also have the choice between config KASAN outline and config KASAN inline. Outline instrumentation produces a smaller kernel binary by calling helper functions for checks, but it is slightly slower. Inline instrumentation is faster because the compiler embeds the checks directly into the code, but it significantly increases the kernel's binary size. For architects managing build pipelines, this is a trade-off between disk space and execution speed. Additionally, you should enable config stack trace to ensure that KASAN reports include the full call stack, which is indispensable for identifying the root cause of a memory leak. When KASAN detects a bug, it prints a highly detailed report to the kernel log. This report is your roadmap to fixing the issue. It starts by identifying the bug type, such as slab out of bounds or use after free. It then provides the exact instruction address where the fault occurred, followed by 3 critical stack traces: the stack trace of the current access, the stack trace of the memory allocation, and the stack trace of the deallocation if applicable. Finally, it provides a hex dump of the shadow memory around the faulting address. For a senior engineer, these reports turn a needle in a haystack search into a targeted fix, drastically reducing the mean time to repair for critical kernel bugs. KASAN is incredibly powerful. It comes with a significant performance cost. Typically, enabling generic KASAN results in a 1.5x to 3x CPU overhead and a 2x increase in the kernel's memory footprint. Because of this, KASAN is generally not recommended for performance-critical production environments. Instead, it should be deployed in pre-production staging areas, CI/CD pipelines, or on a small subset of canary nodes that mirror production traffic. Understanding these overheads is key for infrastructure architects when designing a testing strategy. By accepting these performance trade-offs in a controlled environment, you can ensure that the kernels running your most critical workloads are free from the memory corruption that leads to massive outages. Mastering KASAN is about more than just debugging. It is about building a proactive culture of system integrity. For ultra-scalable systems, integrating KASAN into automated fuzzing frameworks like syscaller is a game-changer. This combination can discover thousands of kernel bugs before a single line of code is committed. As you scale your infrastructure, ensure that your kernel testing pipeline includes KASAN-enabled builds. This allows your team to identify regressions early and maintain a high availability posture. By leveraging KASAN's precise diagnostics and integrating them into your global scaling patterns, you protect your core infrastructure from the silent failures that haunt large-scale deployments. Use KASAN to turn kernel stability from a hope into a measurable guarantee.